The sociological imagination is always one of the very first topics in Introduction to Sociology. And I'm going to go so far as to say it will stay with us for the rest of our lives because you really start to realize the impact of society. So, the first part is that it's the intersection of history and biography. So, think about how old you are today, think about what year it is, think about how old your parents are today, what year it is, grandparents, you know, what year it is. Think about the year that your grandparents were your age, right? Um, think about if you want to have kids in the future, not everybody does, um, what the world will look like when your kids are your age, the one you are right now. Can you see where that intersection of biography, your biography is the age you are right now, living your life, and history is the world around you. So the intersection between those two things, you're really, really impacted by the times you live in. You know this, but let's think about it a little bit more. I am in my late 40s, which means I was in my late teens and early 20s in the mid to late 90s, which feels like 650,000 years ago. It was, I guess, in the last century, right? Um, what did the world look like? Tell me about my cell phone. Yeah, I didn't have one, right? My parents actually did have car phones, phones that were connected in your car. And they both had them because they both work in the medical profession. My mom's a psychologist and my dad um, is the surgeon. And so those are two people that are going to get emergency calls. My dad's on call, my mom's on call, things along those lines. So my mom actually even in the like early 90s, she had a car phone that you could take out of the car, but you literally had to carry a battery pack with you that was probably the size of a laptop, but even thicker. So, could we even imagine that we would hold a smartphone in our hand that would be able to basically do just about everything a computer could do? No. Could we even imagine a world of FaceTime and texts and all these different social media? Could we even imagine? No. So then I ask you, as you look at life today, what can we not even imagine 30, 40 years from now that we can't even think of? And how do the things in our lives shape our lives? How does social media shape our lives and having that smartphone shape our lives and the state of the world shape our lives and the state of the economy shape our lives? That intersection of history and biography, you are very much going to be shaped by the times you live in. The other part of the sociological imagination is once again looking at the things around you, the decisions you make, your life, but trying to explore it in a broader social context. So as I'm recording these lectures, I have a cup of water next to me. If I were in a classroom on a campus, I would have a bottle of water with me. Nowadays, of course, what kind of bottle would it be? It would be some kind of, I think I have an Owala one now, which are really cute. You should go look. They have like a straw and or like you can drink out of them. Like you could either sip or drink, whatever. And the cute color combinations. These are things that are important to me. That water bottle keeps water cold for 10 hours? I don't even know, right? 5 hours? Like we so often now in a world of Stanley Cups and things along those lines, which have been more popular in recent years and will, I guess, by the time you might be listening to this, might already be over because so much changes in society. But we're so used to constantly having water with us. There have been memes that go around for people my age, like, in their mid to late 40s, that are like, I drank like 2 sips of water my entire childhood, and my kid has, had 3 water bottles today alone. Something along those lines. So let's think about just a cup of water, a bottle of water, and understanding that in a broader social context. Generationally, like, what have we learned, I guess, about hydration that we should have more to, like, we should, you know, I think in the like 80s and stuff, there was not really a conversation about soda. Like you would drink Sprite and Coke with reckless abandon. We kind of understand like the impact of sugar now and making choices that might be better for our bodies. That knowledge wasn't always there. But then there's another big underlying assumption as we just use the example of water. I didn't have to think about where I would get fresh drinking water today. I'm guessing you didn't either. And that's a real like privilege, quite honestly, because that's not something that everybody has access to in the world. So, like thinking about just the fact that water, something as simple as water, and having indoor plumbing and access to clean water. Heck, have you heard of Flint, Michigan? Even in the United States, right? There's been lead in water to the point where people can't use the water in their houses. So, thinking about just access to water, filling up whatever Stanley water bottle cup next time you take a drink, and think about that broader social context of how water is something that is not necessarily always widely available. The safety of water is not always widely available. And you could do that with every single item that you have around you. Think about how it intersects in the time that you live in. And then also think about how every single thing around us actually has kind of a wider aspect and phenomenon and way that it operates within our